Marshall's first AMA. We're here. This is Casey.
Again, intro.
I'm Andrew. This is Derek.
I'm Derek.
And we're here to answer your questions.
What made you guys decide to start the brand?
It was inevitable. That's all I can say.
Yeah, man. Just, this is all we know. And we love working together. We think we, all three of us, sort of have a kind of aligned interests, aligned taste, aligned perspective. And we really think we can do something in this industry, man. We love working together. We're the best homies. And this is the funnest thing that we could do. So love clothes, love apparel. And yeah, it's we do this shit for free, bro. So, you know.
Yeah, like all our combined backgrounds of what, we've been able to do before. We have a proven track record, and, we didn't want to let that passion or energy die. So, as Derek said, it was inevitable that, post previous endeavors, we'd come together and do something again. And, we're having a blast, and I know it's, just the start of it, but, we got a lot of things planned. There's so many interests that we all have that, they're aligned in the same vision, but, being able to see it come to life in our own true, authentic way, in our own personal visions, you can't really beat that, There's nothing better. So what was the vision or gap you felt compelled to build around?
With martial sport, for sure, yeah. Combat sports is one that we've been focused on. Andrew's been into boxing for a number of years. I've been doing jiu-jitsu for a number of years now. And that was a huge gap that we saw. There's just nobody who's kind of brought like the taste and the eye to the combat sports world. So with martial sport, we're launching, our initial products are made specifically for like combat stuff. So there's the rash guard and the shorts, and those I use for jiu-jitsu. They're great in boxing, they're great in Muay Thai, kickboxing, kind of everything across the board. So we'll see how martial sport evolves over the years, but we wanted to come out the gates and start with the combat sport stuff.
Yeah, just piggybacking off that, once again, I boxed for, a few years. Derek's done jiu-jitsu, and just sort of like classic story. When we entered that sport, it's like, what are we going to wear? What are the brands and what are the apparel pieces? Because like once you get into a new craft, you start looking at the brands in that space and all the new accessories and gear that you could, acquire. And just looking around the market, there was nothing that really spoke to us as consumers and, met our taste level. So it just felt like an obvious choice to, give an offering to that market that felt like it was up to our standards of, aesthetic and quality as well. So just felt like a natural sort of consequence of that.
Yeah, it's tough when you make a rash guard. You feel like you have to put like a tuxedo on the front, so we had to fight that urge.
Yeah, or some like space kitties.
Everything is terrible in the industry. We'll come out and say it's like gross, just terrible, sublimated, just shit. I don't know if you'll bleep that out, but not good.
Yeah, like it couldn't be worse. It's like the worst shit ever.
Yeah,
I guess whatever. Trash. Maybe offense, but
whatever.
Yes.
We want the smoke. We want the smoke, and we're here to do it. And I will say I am also honorable black belt in Taekwondo when I was 10 in Korea. So that counts, right?
Count it.
Yeah.
What's an honorable black belt?
All right. And a part of that question, someone said, it always felt like y'all tapped into something unique. What do you think it is about the brand, marketing, and messaging that helped build such a loyal community? And how does it differ from other athletic brands? I think that's like eventually. I think that's what he's like. You guys did that before. Like, what do you think about like the future of Marshall and, if you're able to do that again, like what is it about you guys that can build such a, I guess, cult following and stuff?
On one level, I think it's like we're kind of terrible businessmen. Like there are people out there in the industry who can just see like, oh, here's a gap in the market. I'm just going to create for that and just market like crazy to that. And we've all been kind of in sync over the years because we've never been able to just be good businessmen who say, here's a good business opportunity. We're going to capitalize on that. It always just like comes from us, and it comes through conversation, and it comes from reflecting on the different things that we enjoy and the things we're passionate about. And we're just creating truly from us, and like that's, you can see reflected in the pieces and in the collection is like what are the things that we decided to come out with. They're kind of reflections of where we're at and the things that we're into, and so that's what I would say.
Yeah, I kind of would agree with that. It's not like all of this is like super well thought out or methodical. It's really just sort of like a natural consequence of kind of our innate interests and intuitions and kind of the things that we like and what we would like to perceive from a brand, and just constantly tapping into that, and then seeing how we could make that external and make people feel that as well. But it's just a constant process of tapping into ourselves. What are we liking right now? What would resonate with us? What's something if we were, just consumers in the marketplace, like what would we really fuck with? And that's just been just like the constant journey, the constant process. But yeah, it's we're figuring out as we go, sort of a thing,
Yeah, no, I agree. All right, next question. The promo material for the brand so far is boxing/fighting focused. Is that going to be the brand's main aesthetic direction?
They're talking aesthetic direction. They're talking Andy.
Yeah.
Well, I think I would once again, I don't know if we like formally said that in this conversation, but we're sort of splitting our category, our line between mainline and sport. The sport products that we come out with will likely be a little bit more combat based because, like what we mentioned earlier, we do see a gap in that market and that space as well. But the mainline stuff is going to feel a little bit more lifestyle. We're going to roll that out over the next few weeks so you can see a little bit of evolution there. Yeah, overall, we're sort of, like I said earlier, we're sort of like doing it as we go. I think we see that gap in the market, but at the same time be open to just whatever is going to interest us in the future. And if it is more combat sports stuff, amazing. If it's not, amazing as well. But we really want to build like a full brand universe around Marshall that isn't just purely in the combat sports space, things that can touch, every aspect of your lifestyle. And I think the combat sports is also just sort of like a general like motif that kind of colors the whole brand from an aesthetic perspective, but mostly from the perspective of it feeling like something like masculine, right? Like taking back that kind of masculine edge that combat sports provides. And that's sort of like the realm that we're playing in, with combat sports being sort of like the motif around it. Yeah, I think, time will tell how deep we'll go into that market and that space. Anything else?
I mean, yeah, like plainly put, I think in the fight space, in the fight industry, as far as it relates to apparel, there's not much going on. So it's like when we look at the product lines and the stuff that we're going to offer, we've already come out with some of the best fight shorts and rash guard there is in that sector. We don't need to continue to innovate in that space for a little bit. Like, we're pretty good. So where does that leave, the brand? Like, what else are we going to do? And, that opens up a lot more opportunity for us to do the things like streetwear, lifestyle, essential wear, like all the stuff that we do wear outside of the sport category. And, I would say maybe 3-5 years from now, the split would probably be like 30-70. Of 30 is the sports stuff, 70 is more the lifestyle, essential streetwear stuff, the mainline stuff that we all really also like to wear too. So again, all work in progress. We're building it as we go, and that's why we're doing these things. We want you guys to be part of that journey and see the way our minds work and develop it with us as it goes. So another question, which I guess could be like a two-parter, but is an app in the works, Derek? Are you guys considering a loyalty program? I guess it's the membership, right?
Yeah. I mean, looking forward, we want to work on something called the membership. I don't know if we'll say the name in there, whatever, it's fine. Something called like a membership that's actually more all-encompassing than just a loyalty program where you earn points for purchasing. That feels a little bit outdated. It feels very transactional with your audience and with your customers, and we don't want to come out with something that's just like, buy this app and then you get points every time you purchase, and then eventually you get a discount or free shipping. It's so transactional. So when we're thinking about what would be more like our loyalty program, sort of like an all-encompassing lifestyle membership. So things that it would include partnerships with other businesses. It would include lifestyle amenities, travel, things like that all kind of come together to create the lifestyle that the Marshall world is going to encompass. And so that's in the works right now. We're a very small team. We have, among us, we're all handling the different operations and the different marketing avenues and the products and everything like that. It's just the three of us. So give us a little bit of time. But the guys that have been there from the beginning with us, there will definitely be something in the works for you guys.
Very cool. This one is more, I guess, product focused. I'm 6'2", 180. What size do you recommend for the cutoff medium. If you wanted to,
Cropped.
6'2", 180.
yeah. If you, that's basically saying
Medium would probably be like a little
Yeah.
bit tighter, a little bit more cropped on the length. Large is going to fit you kind of like it does in the model photos.
But wasn't saying wearing medium.
Yeah, but he's like 170. Yeah.
He's 175, 6'2", 175.
I think I lied. I think he's 170.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
According to his own stats.
Okay.
I didn't know the right answer when I was
So
putting
if you
those
want
in.
it to be a little bit more cropped, go with the medium. It still has like a boxy enough fit that's gonna feel oversized. But if you want like full oversized, not as like, and the crop isn't aggressive. But if you want to be like overall just a little bit more baggy, definitely go for a large. And then what is the tentative drop time for the hoodie if it's not M1? And that's a funny story because I wanted the hoodie to come out. I thought it was fire, but I got outvoted by
Lie.
I got 2/3 majority wrecked by these
Lie.
two guys, and they said they didn't want to do the hoodie and they didn't like it
This is
until
revisionist-
now.
revisionist
Lie.
history.
Until now,
Revisionist history.
and we have all the samples, and they're like, "Damn, why didn't we do the hoodie?" And they
Bro.
want the hoodie. So again, if you're gonna blame anyone for the hoodies not coming out in M1, it's them too. I pushed for it. I want it to come.
Lie.
But if it's not
Cap.
M1, it'll be M2, and we have a couple different hoodie designs going. So.
No, that is a 100% true story. That is what happened. And now we have the sample and we have the rest of the collection, and we really wish we had done the hoodie with drop one. But
Yeah.
we've now iterated on it. We've made it even better.
It's better now, though.
Better now. Is
So it is
So who was right in
It
the
is,
end, really?
yes.
silver lining.
proven right in the end. So
Yeah.
in the end, we will drop it. And that's probably, you think that'll come with drop two, or is that going to come in like a drop before drop two, you think?
Yeah. Hey, production terms. It depends on if the fabric is available. So we'll see. Who knows? In between, like before drop 2 or with drop 2. One of those. It'll be one of those. So we'll see.
And it'll be the perfect combo for the sweats. So if you're interested in the hoodie at all, make sure you cop the sweats. And
Oh, I did have a question. Are you guys gonna make any shoes?
funny story, when we were registering our Marshall trademark, we originally had shoes within the category, but we got a cease and desist from Doc Martens that like we weren't going to be granted the registration unless we took the shoe category off. So we probably have to like sleep on that for a little bit, but definitely in the future.
We will do shoes,
we
and
can
they'll
use
just
the-
be the M logo.
We can use the M logo. We just can't put Marshall
Marshall
on
on
it.
shoes.
Yeah.
What about gloves?
Yeah, definitely.
We'd love to collab with somebody for gloves, because that's like very technical. Like you want gloves that are like the right shape, the right material. People spend a lot of time and money developing really great gloves. So if we were going to do something, we'd want to do like a design makeover on something that's already existing as a great glove.
What's gonna be the cadence with drops? How frequently you guys gonna drop stuff?
It's a good question.
4 per year.
Hopefully, 4 drops a year, but we're not gonna limit ourselves or constrict ourselves to any type of like fashion calendar, seasonality calendar, like a spring, summer, winter, fall drop. It's like we knew going into this we didn't want to necessarily play that game. Maybe it's inevitable down the line you have to, but for us it's more so we're gonna design and put products out that have our stamp of approval, and when we think they're perfect and ready is when they're gonna be dropped. So that's the game plan for now. So I guess the answer is really no cadence. It's when they're perfect and we love them and we're absolutely stoked on them. But as a business and in the apparel space, there might come a time where you have to kind of play that fashion calendar game. But we're gonna try to hold off on that for as long as possible, I think. So
Yeah, we're not going to play the spring, summer, fall, winter sort of like classic fashion calendar model. We have so many ideas. We're always coming up with new styles and new designs. So as quickly as we can get them out and get them perfect, we'll have them to you.
But we probably won't do like a puffer jacket in summer. Obviously, like seasonality, we'll have a part in it, but like we're not gonna just be like, oh, fall collection, winter collection. Like it probably won't be that. It'll be like we'll put out stuff that obviously we really want to do, and it'll come out in the season that it probably is intended for.
Sweet. Thanks for tuning in to the first Marshall Q&A.
Yeah.
See you on the drop.
See you on the drop. We'll do it again.
See you soon.